Hello again. In this video I'm going to show you spiral staircase. Now, this is a fabulous technique. It's used in so many ropes and bracelets and it's quite addictive once you get going. I've got a few examples here and these are ones I made many years ago and I just couldn't make enough of them. They were so much fun. The one here is what I'm going to be showing you first of all, and then I can talk about the others a little bit later. I'm going to use size D Nymo thread and a size 12 needle and two contrasting size 11 seed beads. The first beads you pick up are going to be the core beads, and if I bring back the sample you can see the core beads here are the beads in between, and the spiralling beads are the ones of the other colour, the lighter beads. Those are the ones that are spiralling around. So I'm going to use the dark beads as the core and the pale beads, the pale pink ones, as the spiralling round ones. So the first four beads you pick up are going to be the core beads. And then you pick up three of the beads that are going to spiral around and bring them down. You don't need a stop bead because you're going to make a complete ring, and it feels strange to start with, but this is there's reason, there's method to the madness. You're going to pass the needle through all 7 beads and make a ring, and then pass through all 4 of the core beads again. And that brings the loop into a real little ring. Okay, now the first stitch, get rid of those. The first stitch you pick up is one of the core, because you need to pick up one to start extending, growing the rope, and then 3 spiral beads. It's always going to be the 3 spiral beads. Now, as I started with 4, I'm going to continue with growing the 4 in the core. So I need to, I've got a new core bead on, so I need to move up 1 step and only pass through 3 of the core beads. And I've got the spiral beads, they were on the left. I've got my tail thread tangled, that's it. And I'm going to move those spiral beads to the side, and it's brought the core bead, the first one that I picked up in that first stitch, to the top. So I've just passed the needle through it and set them to the side, set these spiral beads to the side. I'll just do that again. To grow it I need 1 core bead and 3 spiral beads. So I've got them sitting nicely to the left, and I'm going to come in from the right, and I'm only going to pass through 3 core beads, it's brought the new core bead to the top, and I'm going to pass through it and pull tight, and I've got the, if you can actually see, it's really starting to grow suddenly. You can see the 3s of the spiralling beads, and I'll point that out in a minute. You'll see that the core has got a gentle little spiralling effect itself. So I've picked up the core bead again to lengthen 3 spiralling beads, and I'm passing through the last 3 core beads. Don't want to split my thread. Pulling it up tight, and I'm going to pass through the new core bead that I picked up and just pull that tight. And again, I've stepped up 1 more with the spiral beads. If I do it a couple more times, you'll see how it twists around and meets itself. So 1 core bead, 3 spiral beads, and pass through the last 3 core beads. I'm moving up 1 bead each time, and don't forget to pass through the new core bead. And we're nearly round, almost a 360. One core bead, one set of spiral beads, pass through the last three, pick up the new core bead to move on one, and you can see that I've moved right the way round. It's one complete twist, and it keeps going. You can actually see that the core has got a gentle curl to it. Now, I could have done it in the opposite direction. I could have done it with moving the spiral beads to the right and putting the needle in that way, and then it would have spiraled in the opposite direction. I could have reversed the beads and had the pale pink ones as the core and the dark raspberry ones on the outside curling round. And I said I was going to talk about the other examples afterwards. So that's the simple one with the two contrasting beads. Now, if you remember, each time you've got a spiraling set of 3, you can modify these 3 and put something interesting in them. Here I've got seed bead, triangle seed bead when I've picked up the 3. So it's just made an interesting twinkling effect. This same one here, I've got seed bead, different colour seed bead, seed bead. And with this one, I've only used the central bead of the 3 is a drop bead. In fact, all the other beads are exactly the same colour, they're clear. And it just makes for a really exciting spiralling effect. You can change the number of beads. It doesn't have to be 3. You can make it loop out with, say, 5 or 7 beads. It's really very, very versatile. It's very, very useful for making ropes for necklaces, as I said, and very addictive. And it's so easy that you can just keep going and going and going. So that's Spiral Staircase. Give it a go, and I'll see you soon.